team is in trouble. I've been in my depth for the piece of the puzzle. I got it for real. Still keep me going. I wake
Music
up
licensing reimagined.
in the field, man of the town. You've been in your fields. I'm adjusting this crown. Call me your majesty. Either that or your tragedy. We shutting everything down. I've been hot like somebody put a candle on. I'm off top. I don't really stand opponents. This mine. The moment is run out and start a bunch of pandemonium. More game, I got some. The skill is bar one. Y'all done. The game in the coffin. Referee screen rest in peace. So think twice if you're next to me. It's West. This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring. You know what I mean.
Artlist.io.
Shoot my shot and it's clean. This is my city, yeah, this is my team. If you talking, it's hard to be nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights. Better get right, I'm champion. It's our repetition. I'm stacking these trophies. I'm good with addition. I spit like a pastor. I gave you the vision. Up early morning, enough for the sleep in my life is
Music licensing reimagined.
Haters get livid. My pocket's Pacific. That's deep if you get it. So Tempur-Pedic. I sleep on the critics. Don't feel like competing. I'm hearing these crickets. Whoa, let me switch the flow. A new bounce. Coming to the den with a lion. I'm gon' pounce. Know I've been a king for a while. Got a ring and a crown. That's the bling with the blow. What the team is about. Champions. You can tell by the ambience of this sound. Referee screen rest in peace. And think twice if you never see me. Just no doubt. This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring. You know what I mean.
Artlist.io.
If you talking, it's hard to be nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights. Better get right. This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring. You know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This is my city, yeah, this is my team.
Music licensing reimagined.
I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights. Better get right. I'm champion.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome in, BDB. What it is, how you feeling, how you living, what's going on with you now? Yeah, we back in effect, y'all. We back in effect from the Channel 9 studio. This is Sports Chat with Mr. 33. I am he, Mr. 33. Now, let me get this score out of the way as this football game has finally ended. Tonight's game, and the Kansas City Chiefs get that boulder off their shoulder with a 22-9 victory over the New York Giants. Kansas City goes to 1-2. The Giants go to 0-3. But we don't want to talk about that. Let's go back to the beginning of the day. And that game in Philly, and it's sad because my 9 is here, and we're going to talk about this. It's because they did some things over there, right? The Los Angeles Rams came into Philly with a 2-0 record. They both were 2-0 going into their game. And we see that the Rams started off hot today. They started off with a 19-7 lead at the half. They got a turnover as soon as the second half started and went up 26-7. So the first 31 minutes, the Los Angeles Rams scored 26 points. The last 29 minutes, they was left with nothing. As the Philadelphia Eagles came back with they scored 7-33. They scored 26 of their own points unanswered to get the victory 33-26. And this game was wild because this game saw 2 blocked field goals. We saw an A.J. Brown sighting. We saw some balls going down the field for a change. We saw it all. So let's just go to the stats. Let's go to the stats. For the Jalen Hurts had 226 yards passing. Saquon was kind of quiet. A.J. Brown with 6 receptions for 109 yards with a touchdown. For the Rams, we had Matthew Stafford only had 196 yards, a key interception, but 2 touchdowns with it. Kalen Williams had 94 yards, and Puka Nacua. What could we say about Puka Nacua? He's always getting them catches. 11 receptions for 112 yards. But a key play happened in the fourth quarter as they was holding on to a 26-21 lead. Stafford went back to pass and try to get what is this guy's name? Devontae Adams a touchdown, and it slid right out of his hands, and that led to the fourth down play, and that led to the first block field goal, and they moved it on. They kept the momentum going and kept going. Big win for the Eagles. They, like I said, they go to 3-0. The Rams, I know they kicking themselves in the pants because they scored no points in the last 29 minutes of the game. So it's a tough loss for them. But the Philadelphia Eagles do maintain their 3-0 record. They maintain a undefeated season so far, even though it's only week 3. They go on to the 3-0, and they end up 2-1 are the Los Angeles Rams. Now we're going to stay on that other side. We're going to stay on that left coast and talk about the NFC West, because we had 2 teams vying for a 3-0 record between the San Francisco 49ers and we had the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the funny part about this game was that Brock Purdy was ruled out late Friday, and then they had to insert Mac Jones in there. Mac Jones, not Mike Jones, Mac Jones. You know what I'm saying? So we had Mac Jones going against Kyler Murray, and this game was close throughout. Mac Jones had 284 yards. Kyler Murray had 159. But Mac Jones came through at the game with a nice screen pass to Christian McCaffrey, and they ended up kicking a field goal at the end after getting a safety call, a penalty call in the end zone for a safety. They came back and kicked the field goal, and took the 16-15 lead and ended up with that 16-15 victory. So the 49ers go to 3-0, and the Cardinals go to 2-1. Ricky Pearsall had a great game tonight. He had 8 receptions for 117 yards. They got Marvin Harrison doing a little bit of work. He's not getting the ball as much as he should be getting it. He only had 3 receptions for 44 yards. But that's because Kyler Murray only had 159 yards. So when you're not running the ball well and you're not throwing the ball well, you're going to get these type of games. And because of that, Matt Jones had 284 yards. He had a decent game. He completed 66, almost 2/3 of his passes. And, like I said, he led them down the field to get them to that field goal and give the Niners a lead. And the defense held up at the end, and they get the victory. So, like I said, the Niners are all alone in the field goals. In the standings. They're 3-0. The Rams are 2-1. The Cardinals are 2-1. And Seattle's 2-1 because they destroyed the Saints today. What was it, 44-13? 48-13, some crazy score like that. So you give them their kudos. They continue to win. So big win for the Niners. So we go to the surprise team of the season so far. That's the Indianapolis Colts. They got Daniel Jones looking like Danny Marino. If y'all don't know who Dan Marino is, y'all need to look it up. But they won in a convincing fashion. I thought this was going to be a drop game. I don't know if I'm just waiting for this guy to drop, to turn back into himself. But these first 3 games, he ain't did that at all. So big win but not a big. It was a big win because they won 41-20. They started out fast. They was up 17-3 in the first quarter. Didn't look back. They played the Tennessee Titans, and it's just something about Cam Ward. I thought he was going to do something special today, but he had 219 yards, a touchdown and a pick. But Daniel Jones is getting all around assistance, right? He got 228 yards. He's not turning the ball over. I think that's the key for him to get to where he needs to get to. I don't know. Maybe it's too early to say he's looking like Sam Darnold of last year. Or maybe it's just the fact that people are leaving New York and they become better. I don't know. But he had a huge running game from Jonathan Taylor, 17 rushes for 102 yards, and he had 3 touchdowns. Michael Pittman had 73 receiving yards, 6 receptions with a touchdown. And now the Colts are 3-0, and they are running. Well, I'm not going to say running away with their division, but they're 3-0. The Jags with a key win today. They go to 2-1. They beat the Texans, and the Texans and Titans is 0-3. So, it's not looking good for the Texans. They lost 3 in a row. And they lost that at the end. So it's not looking good for them. Like I said, the Colts go to 3-0, Titans 0-3. But like I said, this is the shocking team of the year by far so far. Now we go to the AFC West. We go to the AFC West because we got the lightning bolts, which is the Los Angeles Chargers. They're finding their ways to win. Today they ended up kicking a field goal at the end of the game to get the 23-20 victory over the Denver Broncos. We have Justin Herbert, who completed 28-47 for 300 yards, 1 touchdown and a pick. Omarion Hampton had 70 yards. Najee Harris got injured, and Omarion Hampton came in and filled the role quite well. We had a Keenan Allen sighting, as he had 7 receptions for 65 yards, a huge touchdown in the fourth quarter to tie the game at 20. And like I said, it's just some timely plays by Justin Herbert that gets his team to 3-0. But Bo Nix didn't really do that bad. Bo Nix was 14-25, was 153 yards, 1 touchdown. J.K. Dobbins had 83 yards rushing with 11 receptions, and Cortland Sutton led all receivers on the Broncos with 6 receptions for 118 yards and a touchdown. So, but it's just a heartbreaking loss for the Broncos. But you got to give the Chargers their due. They're doing just like a winning team do. They find a way to scratch and claw and get to that final second to get that victory, and they did just that. So the Chargers is up to 3-0, and everybody else in the division, the Raiders, they lost already. The Broncos are 1-2, and Kansas City, with their win tonight, they're 1-2. So Los Angeles Chargers are sitting pretty tonight. Also in the NFC South, what a game down in Tampa, right? This game was between the Tampa Bay Bucks, and they hosted the New York Jets. The New York Jets came into the game without Justin Fields, and it looked like they was going to be destroyed early, as they was down 23-6 going into the fourth quarter. They made a furious comeback led by Tyrod Taylor. But they took the lead in the final minute by blocking the field goal and returning it back for a touchdown. Then with like a minute and 10 seconds left, we saw oh my God, what is this boy name? Baker Mayfield get them guys down the field. led them down and got the game-winning field goal kick. That was good. But you can't listen, man. You can't take nothing away from Baker Mayfield this year. He's been playing. I'm not gonna say lights out. He's been playing clutch, right? He was 19 to 29, 233 yards. Nothing to write home about, but a lot of even in the final drive, I think he got about 40 of the 233 yards in the final drive to get them to the in field goal range and kick the field goal. Not really much running today from the Bucks, as Bucky Irvin had 66 yards on 25 carries. Uboka is playing really well over here with the absence of Chris Godwin. He led the team with 6 receptions, 85 yards. But Mike Evans got the touchdown pass from Baker today. And for the Jets, Tyrod Taylor, he was decent. 26 of 36 for 197 yards. 2 touchdowns and a pick. He also led the team in rushing, probably why they lost. Eight carries for 48 yards. Breece Hall had 9 carries for 21 yards. Garrett Wilson was 10 receptions, led all receivers, and had 84 receiving yards with a touchdown. But it was all for nothing as the Bucks go to 3-0, and they lead their division by a lot. As the Bucks is 3-0, the Panthers are 1-2. The Falcons, with a horrible loss today, was 1-2, and the Saints is 0-3, and the Jets is 0-3, and they are way behind them and the Dolphins, with Buffalo with a 3-0 lead. So now we're down to 6. We're down to 6 winning teams. We're down to 6 3-0 teams with no losses. But we'll go through other scores. The Cowboys with a very embarrassing loss today, a 31-14 loss to Tampa Bay. To the Chicago Bears. Going to 1-2. They both were 1-2. They allowed Caleb Williams to look very well today with a good game. Let me get to Caleb's stats to show you how crazy it was. Caleb Williams, 298 yards passing, 19 of 28, 4 touchdown passes, no turnovers. Dak, on the other hand, was 30. Dak was 31. Look, this is how crazy this is. Dak was 31 of 40 for 251 yards, and they benched him at the end of the game. He didn't finish the game out. And they had Joe Milton running around 3 for 5 for 41 yards. They had Javonte Williams running, but it was all, this game wasn't as close as the score says at all. It really wasn't. It was like 24-14, and then they just took off right after this. But it was like extra nothing yards for Dak Prescott. But like I said, they're 1-2. They're looking up at the Eagles. The Giants is 0-3. The Commanders had a big win today. Let's go on down the score list. We spoke about Denver. Seattle with a 44-13 win against the Saints. The Commanders were 41-24 winners at home against the Raiders. No Jaden Daniels. They had Marcus Mariota quarterbacking, and they still get the victory. Gets them to 2-1. The Falcons didn't score, and they lost 30-0 to the Carolina Panthers. That's not a good thing when you don't score against the Carolina Panthers. And they got some more work to do. They fall to 1-2. The backup quarterback bowl between the Minnesota Vikings And the Cincinnati Bengals, we had Browning versus Carson Wentz, but Browning threw 2 pick six to one guy. He pretty much beat them by himself. And it was 48-10 victory for the Vikings, who are going to be 2-1. And they're tied for first place in that division. Why are they tied for first place? But I'll get to that in a second. And Cincinnati goes to 2-1. But why are they in first place? Tied for first place? Because in Cleveland, we had an upset somewhat. No, I'm pretty sure nobody picked the Browns to beat the Packers, but the Browns beat the Packers today. And they beat them with a very modest score of 13-10. They kicked the field goal at the end of the game to get themselves their first victory of the season, while the Packers go to 2-1. And like I said, it's crazy. This is why a lot of us have to play the game, because just because somebody looked good the prior couple of weeks don't mean they're gonna come out and do good. Jordan Love was 18-25 for 183 yards, a touchdown and a pick. But as you can see, that 185 yards wasn't enough because they only scored one touchdown, and and there was no running game. Josh Jacob only had 16 carries for 30 yards. So it's really hard. It wasn't like the Browns were doing anything spectacular. They played some they played some solid defense. And Flacco numbers, 21 of 36, 142 yards. That's what it was. No touchdown, but a pick. Quinshon Judkins scored the only touchdown for the Browns, but he had a decent game. He was 18 carries for 94 yards. But with that win, it takes the Packers down to 2-1, and it gives life to those in the NFC North, as like I said, Minnesota is 2-1. Chicago gets a win for their first win, and the Lions have a game tomorrow, and they play against the Baltimore Ravens, and they are 1-1. So a Lions win tomorrow will have a 3-way tie in the NFC North. What else? What other scores do we have that I need to catch you up on? We know about them. We know the Steelers. The Steelers had a rough game, but they ended up with a victory, 21-14 in New England. Congratulations to Aaron Rodgers. He just passed. Is it Brett Favre? He passed somebody for 509 total touchdowns, and they did what they did to the Jets at week 1. They got a key stop at the end of the game against the Patriots. But Aaron Rodgers is that may be the talk of the week because he's starting to slow down a little bit, as I said he would. He was 16-23 for 139 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. No running game to speak of. Jaylen Warren had 47 rushing yards on 18 carries. And he led the receivers with 34 yards receiving with 5 catches. But since they were playing the Patriots, they had a Drake May sighting. And the Drake May sighting was 28 of 37 for 268 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick, but it wasn't enough to where Hunter Henry led the receivers with 90 yards receiving on 8 catches and 2 touchdowns. But the Steelers go to 2-1, as well as the Bengals. And with Cleveland getting their first win, they're 1-2. Same thing as Detroit. Is Baltimore is in the same predicament. If they win, they'll be in a 3-way tie for the NFC North. So, like I said, there's a lot going on early in the season. Teams that we thought was going to win, they did not win. like I said, a huge loss by the Texans as they lost to the Jags. Uh, so we're waiting on Baltimore and Detroit tomorrow to start week 3. And then we'll be heading, to end week 3, excuse me. And then we'll be heading to week 4. I forgot who the first game is. The first game will be Seattle and the Cardinals on Thursday Night Football. And we will have we'll talk about that a little bit more during the week, but we will have an early morning game as Minnesota and Pittsburgh will be going to Ireland to play that week 4 game in Ireland. So we probably get a few games next week as far as that. So we took care of the NFL. We say congratulations to Asia Wilson as she was named the WNBA MVP for this year, which she won last year and won the last 3 out of 4. And if we go a little further back, that's her fourth MVP in 5 years. And nobody has ever done that in the WNBA. So congratulations to her. But her team did not carry that on to the basketball field on the basketball court today as they lost to the Phoenix Mercury in game 1 of the semifinals to go down 1-0, 0-1 to the Mercury. And we got a shocker in Minnesota as the Lynx lost to the Indiana Fever pretty handily without Caitlin Clark once again. So the Fever are up 1-0 in their best of 5 series. So that's how the WNBA season is shaping up. Game 2s is Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe, but we'll get more into that tomorrow but I really wanted to break down what happened tonight in the NFL. On the WWE side, the WrestlePalooza, we wish Jey Uso a speedy recovery as he looked like he concussed himself with the chair as he hit Bronson Reed. It came back and smacked him in the head, and they had to really end that match a little short. But he was very woozy and things like that. But as far as WrestlePalooza, I was very disappointed, me personally. They had Brock destroy John Cena. I thought he was, I don't know if they were just trying to say he a bully. I don't know if they're trying to say he's coming back. But if he is coming back, it'll be a waste of time because if y'all got him trying to look like Goldberg, I'm not really going with that. Congratulations to Stephanie Vaquer as she became the women's champion by defeating Io Sky. And she's had a great run this year. She's had the Intercontinental belt. Did she have the Intercontinental? No. That was Stephanie Vaquer. Lila Vaquer. But congratulations, Stephanie Vaquer. She won the world championship, but she's had a good run in spite of because I was Lyra with the tag belt, so I thought I confused the two. But it was a big win for her. Cody retains his belt. Jimmy and Jay lost that belt to the Bronze. I'm missing. Oh, and AJ moved around very well. She hit that I forgot the name of that move, but she put Becky Lynch in the submission. She couldn't get out. So Punk and his wife AJ, they defeat Seth and his wife. I don't know if things go back to normal, but I'm expecting AJ now to try to get that Intercontinental belt. I don't know what's going on with Punk and Seth, but it was pretty, all of my I think I only got one prediction right. I think I got the Cody prediction right. No, I got the Stephanie prediction right. But going in tomorrow, we'll start a whole new week. Starting with Raw, we'll hear the aftermath. We'll see what's happening. Will the Vision get back together now that this match is over, or is Brock gonna come in and do whatever? But we're starting a whole new week as they start to go for Crown Jewel. As a matter of fact, speaking of Crown Jewel, that means that Cody Rhodes will be fighting Seth Rollins for the Crown Jewel belt, and Stephanie Vaquer will be fighting, as of right now, Tiffany Stratton as they go on SmackDown for the Friday triple threat match for the World Championship for SmackDown. So that's heading towards Crown Jewel. I don't know if John Cena is going to have a match at Crown Jewel. They haven't spoken on it yet, but we're on that march, and that's in a couple of weeks as well. So we'll be looking forward to that as we go forward. But as far as the NFL season, week 3 is closing, is over. We got one more game, and we had a lot of block field goals today. Last week we had a lot of made field goals. I guess they was emphasizing that we can't keep letting these guys kick the ball and get these game time field goals or these game winning field goals. We saw how the Eagles ended the game, stopping the Rams undefeated season by blocking the field goal and running it back. Jordan Davis did all of that. We saw the Jets block, we saw the Jets block, but they couldn't stop them at the end. But I think I've seen about five block field. That's the most I've ever seen in a week. So I don't know. It was different. 5 in 1 week, and 2 of them by the Eagles. So it was a lot. It was a very interesting Sunday as far as that. We see baseball is winding down. They got 6 more games. Their last week, we got a fight for the 3rd NL wild card. My Metropolitans is not looking good. They allowed Cincinnati to come back and tie them for the 3rd spot. And they got some teams 3 games back, 4 games back. But they got 6 games to go. Will they make it? We don't know. In the American League West, we got the Astros and what is the name of that team? The Seattle Mariners fighting for the NL West. And we got Cleveland and Detroit fighting for position in the AL Central. So that's what we're looking forward to as far as baseball going. And this last week, the last 6 games of the seasons, we'll see who pull it out. We'll see who will not pull it out. We'll have that discussion Sunday night, next Sunday, to see who did what, who made it. Will it be playoff extra playoff games that Monday or Tuesday? We'll figure that out then. And then, we'll go back into our regularly scheduled program. Week 4, we'll be talking about week 4 next week. We'll be talking about the WNBA. We may be talking about the championship games as they're in their Final 4. The WNBA finals may be starting as soon as next week. Who knows? They're both in their 3 out of 5 series. And like I said earlier, the underdogs is up. The Mercury is up 1-0, and the Fever are up 1-0. So there's a lot of sports to talk about, and we'll be talking about it throughout the week. Tomorrow we'll be talking about what's going on with Raw, and we will talk about the final game of week 3, the Lions heading to Baltimore against the Ravens. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody coming through. From the Channel 9 studio, this is Mr. 33 signing off. I'll see you guys at around the same time tomorrow.